Hi! I guess I'm trying vlogging again. My life changed a lot in 2018, honestly, and I kind of just want to keep record of that. I think it's going to keep changing this year. Weird that that's a thing that life does, changes. So I just wanted a space to kind of mark it. And I'm a millennial and grew up in the live journal era, so I just believe that everyone wants to hear me talk about myself. So here I am to do that. So toward the end of 2017, a couple of different things happened for me job-wise. I applied for bigger jobs at the university that I was already working at. I had an administrative job and I applied to be an academic tutor, so to tutor college students. And I got that job and it was great, honestly. I mean, I learned so many things in that job. I absolutely loved the people I worked with in that job. I absolutely love the people I worked with in the job before that. I really have been so lucky. I have had incredible coworkers and truly incredible bosses. Every job I've had, every full-time job I've had, I've just worked for these like incredible women, just really like cool, strong, funny women. So both of those jobs really were great in many ways, but neither of them was what I wanted to do. I was qualified for the tutoring job because I had a master's degree, but my master's degree is in creative writing, as you probably know if you happen to be watching this. And that's where my passions are. That's what I love doing, is working with the written word. So at the same time that I was applying for the advising job, I also was applying for freelance, part-time, remote copy editing jobs. I love copy editing. I love the serial comma. I don't know. I just get it. It's just really how my brain works. I really get sentence structure, and I really am good at like looking at something that someone else has written and being able to help them elevate it to the best version of that thing. I'm working on saying nice things about myself. That's a nice thing. I'm really a good editor. And I just have had this belief, like, people need this service. It was my big joke. I was traveling with Kyle, my husband, who you know, I'm sure, and we were in a large city in another country, in an English-speaking other country, and everywhere we went, I was like, this whole city needs a copy editor. I mean, public announcements, like transportation signs, newspaper, every newspaper we passed, people need editing. And it's been so difficult for me to sort of understand, like, everyone needs the service. I am good at the service and happy to provide it, honestly, for pretty cheap. And it had just been amazing to me, like, why can't I get paid to do this work? That is work that people need, that I want to do. So I started applying for those jobs, because that's how you get jobs, is you apply for them. And I did get a very part-time gig working remotely for a marketing company at the end of 2017. So I'm doing both of these jobs, and it's good and it's fine, but in the back of my mind it's always, if I could be doing just the editing and making enough money to like survive and sometimes often buy new makeup, that's what I would want to do. And what happened next is very rare, I think, and is a privilege. I mean, I really was in a privileged position to be able to make this next part happen. I have an incredible support system. My husband is an incredible support system. So basically, in the summer of 2018, I decided that I was going to quit my full-time university job and just focus on the editing. I wasn't thinking just the editing gig I already had. I was thinking I would have a website and I would advertise and take on clients. And I do, in fact, have a website. And I would take on clients. But as it happens, basically immediately as I was leaving my university job, the marketing company that I had been working for reached out to me and asked if I could do more work and actually be a dedicated editor for one of their marketing teams. Because they like the work that I did, because I'm a good editor. So that was amazing. I mean, that was amazing. And it really was just such an answer. I mean, I had at that point spent over a year, just kind of wallowing in self-pity and being like, I went to school and got multiple degrees for this work, and I want to do it, and I feel like I don't have any opportunities, and I'm stuck in these other, again, like very lovely. I wasn't stuck. I mean, I was happy in those jobs, but I just felt like that was going to be my life, and I wasn't going to be able to kind of have a career to make a livelihood doing the things that I loved doing and had trained to do. And I really, I'm a Christian, and I had very much been like, why would God give me these like gifts and these passions and these desires and then have me like do university desk jobs for the rest of my life? And then literally I was like, oh, what if I just decided not to do a university desk job for the rest of my life? And then since then things have kind of fallen into place in amazing ways. Which is great. I hate to sound like I'm bragging, but it really has been amazing. And like I said, Kyle has been so great and has always been so supportive, because we didn't know. I mean, when I originally was quitting my job, I had no idea that this was going to happen, that this editing thing was going to come through. I thought I was just kind of jumping with very little safety net. I mean, we're going to be living off of our savings account a little bit for a little while, hopefully just a little while. And I had all these contingency plans, like I'm going to give it 6 months. And then if nothing's working out, then I'm going to look for, real jobs again. And that hasn't needed to happen, which is amazing. Yeah, so that's kind of my 2018 story, is I took a chance on myself, and it worked out. So that's great. I'm really happy. I, at this moment, am working usually just under 30 hours a week for the marketing company. So all that to say that my life looks really different right now in January of 2019 than it did a year ago, and that I could have possibly guessed that it would look a year ago. So it's cool. I'm glad about that. So because so much good happened to me in 2018, and because I made so much of it happen. I mean, I'm not saying it was only me. Genuinely, God has been looking out for me. My husband has had my back. My parents, both sets of parents, my parents and my in-laws, have been so cool and very cheerleadery for me. So I'm not like, it's all about me and I'm amazing. But just that in the past, I am a person who's tended to get stuck on like, this is just happening to me and I have no choice and it's the worst. And then basically last year at the age of 27, I realized that that's not true. I can do things. I can make things happen. So I'm trying to do a little more of that in 2019. I'm not really a New Year's resolutions person, and even if I was, it's, the end of January, so no one cares anymore. But I do, I just want to be intentional about some things this year. It could be a year of big change for us. Kyle's obligation to teaching is going to be done soon, and we might then do something very different. But we also might not, and that's like a huge, I can't even really, I don't know what that's going to look like, and it might not look like anything. But in the meantime, just for me, because I'm working about 30 hours a week, I'm also still writing. I have a novel that I'm working on, another novel that I shelved that I'm interested in coming back to this year maybe. I'm actually getting, I have to be really vague about this, but I am getting paid right now to write. That's pretty much all I can say about that. Getting paid to be a writer has not really been a goal of mine. It's been a dream, and I have wanted to publish a novel, and I believe that will happen, and that would make me a paid author. But just the idea of someone paying me to receive words that I wrote is it wasn't, I don't know. I didn't think to want that, I guess. So that is happening now in a way that hopefully I can talk more concretely about at some point. The point is, even with that other stuff, I have several hours a week to myself, usually now. And that didn't used to be the case. Like I said, I, used to feel so like, oh, I'm at, the university all the time, and then I'm home for a couple hours, and then I'm sleeping, and then on Sundays we go to church. And now I just feel a lot more free to spend some of my time how I want to spend it, which sounds really simple and like nothing, but it's a huge, huge deal to me. The first time that really hit me was a couple of weeks ago. It was after the New Year's break. My editing work was slow, and Kyle was back at work, and it's like I had some time in the week, and I felt like I had no idea what to do. I didn't know what to do. So I watched TV. And if you know me, you know that that's an excellent way. I mean, I love spending my time watching TV. But I was talking with my therapist, my wonderful therapist, who also, of course, deserves some of the credit for all the work that happened last year. Coincidentally, I had been seeing her for quite a while by then. So, yay, she's great. But so she encouraged me to make a list of things that I like doing the last time I saw her. And I kind of was like, okay, like, I know what I like doing. That's ridiculous. But I actually don't necessarily know what I like doing anymore. I went to grad school, and that was long and busy, and reading used to be something that I loved doing, and in grad school it became, schoolwork, and I love schoolwork. I am a Ravenclaw, but even so, it was just, not necessarily what I wanted to be reading, and so it took me a while. It's taken me a long time to sort of get back into even doing that more, and rediscovering what I love about reading versus what I can get out of it sort of academically or like to apply to my own craft. So I'm having fun reading again. I haven't actually made my list of things that I like doing yet, but I'm going to. The thing that I want to work on this year is just, this is so like cliche, but being present. Just sitting with myself in my free time and living. This probably sounds like ridiculous. This is one of those things I have been kind of interested in making YouTube videos for a while, just to keep track of my own life. Like a journal, but like a journal that you share with people on the internet. Because again, millennial. So that's just, I guess this is sort of a repilot for my YouTube channel. Just to sort of say, like, if this is going to happen, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a fun thing for me. It definitely will be something about makeup. People had expressed some interest in me making some videos about the editing I do and some writing stuff, so that would be fun. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what this is going to be or if it's going to be anything, but I don't know. It's something that I think might be fun, so it's going on my list of things that I like to do. Hopefully this was like a little bit interesting. I just wanted to give sort of an update of where I am in my life right now, and what's going on with me. I imagine only my friends are gonna watch this, and by my friends, I mean Rachel. Hi, Rachel! If you happen to want to see anything in particular or hear me talk about anything in particular, let me know, because, I don't, have ideas. I have a few ideas, but, if you, have a burning desire to hear me talk about ranking my top 5 favorite Lost characters, let me know, because I could force myself to do that for you. Anyway, thank you for watching me ramble. If I ramble again, come back and watch that too if you want. Okay, bye!